dreams come true.
What is up, socialites? It's your girl Mara, the Socialite Diva. I'm sorry, I've been gone for 3 weeks, but I wanted to make March a little more special because March is my special month. Yes, I am a March baby. Yes, I am an Aries baby. So I wanted to open up Aries season with, special videos. So instead of giving you Chicago new artists and running down my favorite 5 of the week, today in this video, I'm going to be running down my top 5 Kanye West albums. Kanye, this is his city. I personally, the reason why I love music so much is because of Kanye. So I wanted to pay homage to him and thank him. Make sure you go subscribe to the YouTube channel, I Am Socialite Status, and you go follow me on IG at Socialitediva. I Am Socialite Status. If you have not, please go subscribe to the link below. And you go visit the website, IamSocialiteStatus.com, where I still have posted banging new artists that I am still repping for Chicago. But this is just a special little video for Chicago because I saw a debate on Facebook and they wanted to run down the top, what was their favorite Kanye album. And Kanye, I'm sorry, he is the Chicago GOAT. Argue me, fight me if you want to, but I truly believe that. So let's get right into my top 5 ranked from highest to lowest, and I hope you enjoy it. Number 5 is My Beautiful Dark Fantasy. I didn't appreciate this album until I got older, until I listened to it probably a good 12 times. Probably around the 12th time, I'm like, this man is a freaking genius. This is around the time when he had just broke up with Amber Rose. A lot of people think that My Beautiful Dark Fantasy, a lot of it stems from that relationship. I tend to agree. You don't know. If you listen to this album, it's definitely very dark. I think of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. This is the album that has Monster. This is the album that had Power, All of the Lights. All of the Lights had like 12 remixes. Like, seriously, was it really that necessary? I mean, when I first heard the song, I was like, this song is like 10 minutes long, but you still sat there and listened to the whole 10 minutes. You definitely got a lot of rock and roll feel because of how the 808s is coming. Of course, it's Kanye, the production is crazy. He didn't have step when it came to that. Monster was such a pivotal moment in Nicki Minaj's career because that song alone is why I feel like catapulted her to a level where you felt like, okay, she just out-rapped Jay-Z on a song. Really? So Kanye gave her that moment and didn't try to steal her shine. This is the album that came after the VMA stint. This is after he broke up with Amber Rose. A lot of people think that this album was about Amber Rose. My favorite song is Blame Game. Yeezy taught me. Who taught you how to do that? Yeezy taught me. So that's where that all came from. Like, Blame Game is a really good song with John Legend. I heard a lot of piano throughout the whole album, and I'm a fiend for a beat with the piano because I feel like, once again, it's creating vibes. But this is definitely my top 5. I just love this album because this showed what he was going through as a celebrity. Why was he showing up drunk on the VMA red carpet? This will show you why. Why was he going through the things that he's going through? Like, he was going through an emotional breakdown, and this album depicted that emotional celebrity status breakdown that he was going through. Power was a great song. When you hear the hand claps come on, like, it's still being played in the club to this day. It's an anthem for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a masterpiece. You gotta think he created controversy just off the cover alone. He had to take down the cover, redo the cover because it was too graphic for them to sell in stores. Like, super Kanye, still being true to himself no matter what mental state he was in. So, like, I enjoyed it. Great album. Number 4 is The Life of Pablo. I am probably gonna get so much flack for this video, but I don't give two flying fucks, okay? Because a lot of people do not fuck with Life of Pablo. But I don't understand why. It came out, first of all, Life of Pablo release date got pushed at least a good 5 times from what I heard. it was so highly anticipated. It was like he kept pushing it out. He was releasing songs, but the album was never coming. It was just like the track list kept changing. It just was a lot going on, and a lot of people, of course, were trying to blame the Kardashian. But what Kanye kept saying when it came to the life of Pablo was that this was a ever evolving story, and this, like, it was never ending. Like, he kept trying to change it because new things were coming up. So Life of Pablo was dope. I mean, the production on there alone was crazy. This Is What Brought You Famous. The video for that is crazy. Got a bunch of naked celebrities in the bed. He had the line in there about Taylor Swift. Everybody went crazy because he was like, well, did he apologize to Taylor Swift? Well, why is he talking about it on the track? I didn't think it was a diss. Fade came from that. Fade alone, you hear the house music in the beat, in the whole beat, like it's so Chicago. First of all, his Kanye production is no one else that could do it other than No ID. Personally, that's just me. Fight me if you want to. He premiered the album at Madison Square Garden with his fashions. Highlights is my favorite song, Ultralight Beam, because it's that gospel feel that he always keeps in tune in every album. He had Chance on it. He did a song with Kirk Franklin, like, bruh, 30 hours. He's spitting, but the track is so, like, I don't know, I don't want to say death metal, but it gives you that, like, techno rock vibe. He said, I wish me and Ray J could be friends. If we ain't fuck the same bitch, yeah, he might have hit it first. Problem is, that's my bitch. Like, come on now. He shouted out Ray J on the joint. Like, because remember, Ray J tried to come out with the song I Hit It First. But Kanye, of course, trashed you in Highlights. And Highlights, the beat is crazy. The Dream, I think, produced that. Like, he always has an eclectic group of individuals doing productions on his album. Life of Pablo was a little all over the place. But the reason why I made it number 4 is because I just felt like he stuck his middle finger up at the world because they didn't think he was going to ever release this album. And he did, and he released it in a Kanye fashion, of course. I think people were trying to place a stigma on him and thought that his music was dead because he was dating a Kardashian. And I've never once thought that Kanye would not produce great music. And just because who he's dating does not define what kind of artistry he has. This man is a genius. It is a great body of work, and you could tell he worked hard, and it was very well calculated. From the beats to the lyricism. He talked about Rob Kardashian and Black China when that was a moment at that time. Bruh, Kanye, you are, in my opinion, the GOAT. You are the Chicago GOAT because you let us know that it's okay to be different. It's okay to not run with the status quo, and I think you've done that your entire career. This particular album helped me get through the summer of 2016. I can feel when you're in a dark place. I can feel when you're in a happy place. This album has so many different moods, and I think it definitely outdid my expectations of the album. I thought it was going to be trash, honestly. Number 3, 808s and Heartbreak. When I think of 808s and Heartbreak, I think this is 08 at this point. 08 was a great year. I think I was in Connecticut at the time, coming back from Connecticut and not really understanding, like, why am I here, right? What is my purpose? And 808s and Heartbreak, at the time I was very heartbroken because I found out I was not going back to Connecticut. Every college student knows I had an academic scholarship, but I still needed that young $5,000 to get room and board. And at that time, you poor, so that ain't gonna happen. So I went through a breakup with my own college, and 808s and Heartbreak helped me get through that heartbreak. And 808s and Heartbreak, you're talking about an album that's all auto-tune, and this is around the time when T-Pain was popping. I remember when MTV had said he was going to do an album all auto-tune, and I remember people was like, oh my god. Now this is coming after the graduation, so you already know, like, what the hell are you thinking, Kanye? A whole auto-tune album? Nah, it's gonna be trash, bro. it's gonna be trash. I mean, let's just face it, it's over with. You done had this 3-album run, it's over. It's over. He dropped 808s and Heartbreak and shocked everybody. And I think T-Pain had already been a pioneer in the auto-tune aspect, but this kind of just took it to a new level, right? You have songs on there that are still being played today in the clubs, just as dope. You have Say I Will, you have Coldest Winter Ever, you have RoboCop, you have Paranoid. Paranoid was my favorite. 808s and Heartbreak solidified Kanye as a crossover artist. You know, the Graduation, it dibbled and dabbled on the pop charts. He had poppy songs on there, but on 808s and Heartbreak was like, okay, he's definitely pop, hip hop, techno. He's everything at this point. This is not a fluke. He can't just do it once. He came back and did it twice. You got songs on there like See You in My Nightmares with Lil Wayne, because this is around the time when Lil Wayne was blow-up-tuating and everybody wanted a track with Lil Wayne. You got auto-tune. Every last one of these songs is auto-tune. Like, I feel like 808s and Heartbreak birthed the new wave rap. And it's crazy because if you go and look at interviews with all these different artists like Lil Uzi Vert or Drake or anybody, they all say 808s and Heartbreak is what made them start rapping, because it was something so different. You can't think of any artist that was doing the same thing. It's definitely a classic. This is the album that birthed Drake. Say I Will, Drake redid it, and it's one of my favorite Drake songs of all time. And the Kanye version is definitely one of my favorite Kanye songs. So I think this gave them the leeway to say, okay, it's okay to sing about your emotions on a song. It's okay for us to talk about, we don't have to talk about gangbanging no more. We don't got to be talking about shooting people up and doing all that. We can actually talk about our feelings and put a dope beat behind it, and we can make millions and create history. And that's exactly what he did. This album showed that he didn't care about the barriers. He didn't care about stepping outside of the box. He could give two flying fucks about what you think and what you think hip hop is, because to him it was moving in a different direction. And I swear I'm thankful of this album, because I would not have one of my favorite artists, Drake, to this day if it was not for him. So thank you, Kanye. You gave me my baby daddy, Drake. Number 2 is the College Motherfreaking Dropout, okay? College Dropout. It's funny because I've always loved music. Music is something that I've always loved. It's in my family, it's in my blood. I've always had an ear for it. I remember junior year of high school, it was this guy that really liked me. His name was Wisdom. Shout out to Wisdom, because without Wisdom, I don't think there'd be no socialite status. He had the locker next to me. He was cleaning out his locker. And in his locker, he had a burned disc. It was a purple CD, purple disc. He probably don't even know I remember this story, but I do. It was a purple disc. He was cleaning out his locker. He was like, "You want this?" I was like, "What is it?" He was like, "It's the College Dropout." Now, I also had a best friend by the name of Nana. She was in love with Kanye at the time, like super infatuated with him. And I was like, I'll listen to it. I know Nana listened to it, so I'll listen to it. I don't know. The CD floated around in my locker for probably up until the end of the year, and then I finally took it out, and I was like, I guess I'll go home and listen to it. I ain't got nothing else to listen to. Go home and put the CD in, and I'm like, this is pretty dope. Like, okay, all right. Because I think I was still coming out of my B2K phase of life. So I was looking for my next artist that I was going to be rocking with, and just so happened it to be him. And that was all she wrote. And I pressed play and never stopped pressing play. I kept listening to this song. And the one particular song that I listened to over and over again was Spaceship. I've been working this great ship, and I ain't mainstream. I wish I could find me a spaceship and fly. The only reason why I love that song is because I was still, even though my mom had been gone for like, at this point, it was almost 9 years. I had never heard a song that I could relate to that made me think of her so much and made me kind of cope with it, and her death and her not being around. And I don't know why that particular part, find me a spaceship and fly heaven on, past the sky. If my man just hoax me again, I will be assaulting him after I fuck the manager up. I don't know why that song, out of all songs that I could listen to help me get over somebody dying, is Spaceship. I think because at that point I did want to get on the spaceship and go and see my mama. And I think that song was so just, I freaking love that song. Just because that song is on there, it would always be one of my favorite albums of all time. The whole album is real rap. First of all, he came out wearing a backpack and polo. And people were like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, ain't he the producer for Jay-Z? Stay in the back. That's what I feel people thought. And then his samples was crazy. He came out with slow jams and people was like, oh, okay. Then he came out with Jesus Walks, and I think that's probably what took it to a whole nother level. Because I remember when he dropped the video for that, and this was around the time like Passions of the Christ. So it was like a no-no, and he was overstepping so many boundaries. People were so upset, and they had to make two versions. They had to make the TV version, and they had to make the uncut version. Even though the uncut version, if you put that on today, that's nothing compared to what you see on TV today. It is real rap. And that is what caught everyone's attention, because they're like, who is this boy from Chicago that's spitting like this and got these samples and got this soul behind his beats, and then he got the words to match. Like, bruh, he is a freak of nature. He had Mos Def on the album. He had Ludacris. He had Consequence. He had Common. He had Jay. He had so many heavyweight hip hop artists that were giving him the stamp of approval that you couldn't help but to listen to what he had to say. And the whole thing throughout the album is he letting you know, like, yeah, America says the status quo is you go to college, but you can make it without going to college. You don't have to stand to those barriers, and you don't have to stay in that lane. I made it, and he dropped out of college because he felt like it just wasn't for him, and it's not. He going to college and paying all this money, but then he sees somebody that graduated before him working at Starbucks. Like, bruh, is college really for me? I mean, I don't think college rates went down even though he dropped his album, but I'm just saying, like, this album, it just speaks volumes. You got Kanye's workout plan that gives you that Chicago juke house music in one song. School Spirit that's like to make you want to go to college actually, even though he talked about he hated there. That album bring back so many memories because I played the dog stuff. I think I played it so much that because it was bootleg. Sorry, Kanye, I had the bootleg version. Because it was bootleg, I wore the words off the CD because I played it so much. I think to a point it started skipping. He didn't talk about no gangster rap shit and talk about selling drugs. This is somebody that's talking about college. He's talking about how he dropped out of college. He's talking about how college wasn't for him. Like, that's kind of touches the suburban kid in me because I'm not no gangster. I'm not staying in, I don't know no drug dealers. I don't know nobody toting guns and doing that, even though I like that music. I enjoyed that music, but this I felt was more in my lane. I think when they first seen him, they thought it was happy rap, right? It was going to be another Will Smither because he was wearing the polo with the collar pop. He did his song with his jaw wired shut. I mean, yeah, we had seen 50 Cent do it. He was rapping about his life and spitting so well for his first song, and then he had the Shaka Khan beat. So I think this was like, he kind of now people sample a lot, but I feel like he made it cool to sample those classic R&B songs. Like he made, I mean, you got other rappers who did it, you know what I'm saying, but you talking about the era we was in at this time. You was listening to 50 Cent, We was listening to B2K. We was listening to stuff like that. So I think for my generation, the millennial generation, he made it cool for these. He challenged rappers to get different samples. Think about it, because at the time everybody used the same samples, right? You still had the Isley Brothers samples and everything, but he using Shaka Khan samples. He's using all these different kind of R&B songs that you heard your parents listen to, but a rapper never put their pen to it. So he was making it cool. I mean, hey, it's Kanye. He made that shit look easy. Number one, we at number one. What y'all think number one is? I'll give y'all a hit. Cap and gown. September 11, 2007. I'm watching 106 in Park, and 50 Cent and Kanye is on there, and they battle. Because 50 Cent is coming out with the Curtis, and Kanye is coming out with the Graduation. I remember, like, really 50 Cent. Like, you really want publicity bad, you finna go against Kanye? Nah, bruh. Nah. And I remember I'm in school. At this point, I'm in college in Connecticut, University of Hartford, before it blew up to be this racist ass school. I mean, it was racist then, but you know. I'm at the University of Hartford. We are watching online, I think at the time, 106 in Park. Me and Kelsey, my homie Kelsey, who is a uber Kanye fan, but he's a bigger Jay-Z fan, but whatever, he loves Kanye too. And I'm like, Kanye got this in the bag, right? And they got the face off and shit on there. And I was like, Kelsey, like, bruh, we already know where this is going. We don't even gotta watch it no more. Cut it off. I went and purchased the Graduation, and it is the best, one of the best rap albums, probably top 5 rap album in my opinion of all time. I know people like this girl like hell. I want y'all to fight me on this one, because the Graduation is one of the most eclectic pieces of music and hip hop for the 2000s. Period. You talking about, he went against 50 Cent and demolished him, which we already knew he was, because 50 Cent was all gangsta rap. Kanye was, at this point, with this album, he crossing over into the pop scene with songs like Stronger, The Good Life. Those 2 songs alone is killing him, because Stronger is giving you some straight Harder, Make It. This one, MySpace was still low-key popping, and it's Daft Punk. He freaking sampled Daft Punk. That's a whole nother techno vibe. You can play Stronger at any club, a techno club, rock club, hip hop club, or pop, a white club. The Graduation for Kanye, for me, the Graduation is my soundtrack to my life. I was at a time where I was in school. I'm a college student. This is my first year of college. I'm away from home. I don't know anyone. I'm the only one. It's me and another boy from Illinois. The one boy, Lupe, is what we call him because it looks like Lupe Fiasco. He was from the South Side. I'm being a little Bolingbrook kid, but I'm still claiming Chicago because they don't know where the hell Bolingbrook is on the map. And it's times where you in college, you experiencing so many different things, experiencing how to handle just adulthood, you homesick. Well, it was times I got homesick where I wanted me some Harold's Chicken and some Vittles, but they didn't have it. But it was times you were homesick, right? You hear about people dying in the city, and you got a time where it's crazy. It's just, you got all these different emotions that are, as a young 18-year-old girl off in college, you going through so many things, right? But every moment I went through my first year of college is depicted on this one album. I actually have quotes to the album tattooed on me, because everything I'm not makes me everything I am. That goes to show, be confident in who you are, because I was very insecure. I was very awkward. Very, very, very awkward. So that quote, that's why I got it tattooed on me, because I need people to I needed to understand that it is okay to be who I am. I don't need to be that next girl. I don't need to be that next him or her or anybody. It's a great body of work. I think if you was to ask anybody what their favorite Kanye album is, I think the consensus would be probably The Graduation. I remember the album cover, he had said that he had got it like, it was a Tokyo artist on there, and it was a limited time, and not everybody could get this album cover. It was going to be worth money one day. Remember, I went straight out to go get it. Ask me what the album cover is now. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you where it's at. He got songs where he's vulnerable, like Big Brother, where he paying homage to Jay-Z, like, this is my mentor. This is somebody I look up to. He has taken me under his wing. This is my appreciation. A lot of people thought it was a diss song because he talked about the Coldplay incident because he felt some type of way. How, you know, the Diamonds Are Forever remix, how he thought he spazzed, and then Jay-Z came through and kicked his ass. That's just how it is. He a big brother. That's how it rock. When I first heard Homecoming, it was at a particular moment in school where I was so homesick. And then you play Homecoming and it's like, okay, do you think about me now? And then, do you think? That was my favorite song for the longest. And then he put it out as a single, and then I was like, okay, I'm over it. But the best song on the album is I Wonder. And I read something that said that I wonder he imagined being on stage and performing this song. My favorite line of the whole song is, and I'm back on my grind. A socket red my lifeline told me in this lifetime, my name I help light up the Chicago skyline, and that's why I'm 7 o'clock, that's prime time. Heaven I watch God calling from the hotlines. Come on, why you keep giving me hot rhymes? I'm a star, how could I not shine? How many ladies in the house? How many ladies in the house without a spouse? Something in your blouse got me feeling so aroused. What you about? I'm a star, how could I not shine? That's my favorite line ever. Like, the beat on there, they said it was U2 that helped produce that beat. One of my favorites. Man, that song I remember playing it back to back to back to back. To this day, you would catch me playing it back to back to back to back to back. Man, that song never gets old. And he was gonna drop it as a single. Kanye, why he never dropped it as a single? I appreciate it because then it don't get oversaturated and it just becomes a special song. But damn, really? It was when I read that, I was like, okay, he should have dropped that as a single. But a lot of people fucked with Flashing Lights. I enjoy Flashing Lights. I like the remix of R. Kelly, honestly. Like, that was straight Chicago shit. At that point, you thought he had left Chicago behind, then he pull in R. Kelly like, oh, okay, all right, I see you. And then Everything I Am, once again, that's a favorite. He talks about how Chicago, you didn't think he was paying attention to Chicago, but that was when death was starting to get up there. And he talked about how many caskets that was being closed in Chicago around that time. It was just crazy. And I think that anybody from the outside looking in that's not from Chicago or not from Illinois, if you was to just listen to this not being from here, you would get a piece of us after listening to this album. It's crazy, and I really don't feel like The Graduation gets the recognition that it should, because he killed that shit. Kanye, you should definitely go on tour and just do that, because I didn't get to see you when you performed these songs, because I was a broke college student. So if you could, please do The Graduation. Just perform I Wonder for me. No, if I could do the whole thing, do Drunk and Hot Girls too, because that's my shit. Kanye, thank you. Thank you for helping me get through high school to adulthood. I feel like you are a Chicago GOAT in my eyes. I don't care what nobody says, that you're in a sunken place. I'll tap the tea glass and help you get out, because you steady keep producing phenomenal music, phenomenal bodies of work that never gets old. It's crazy. I can play The College Dropout from start to finish and never get tired. I can go play The Graduation and not get tired. I am not by any means saying that his other albums were not great, because they were all great. what I'm saying, that these are my top 5. These are the albums that I felt were impactful to me, and I hold near and dear to my heart. Chicago, let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it in my comments. Let's talk about it on IG. Let's talk about it everywhere. It's your girl Mara, the Socialite Diva. If you have not, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you like, subscribe, comment, share, tell everybody you know. It's your girl Mara, the Socialite Diva. If you have not, go visit IamSocialiteStatus.com. And don't forget to click subscribe. You have one job. I provide the content, you click subscribe. That's all I ask. Just a little razzle dazzle. Once again, it's your girl Mara, the Socialite Diva. Have a great Aries season, Chicago. My birthday is March 31st. This is just the first of many videos this week, but stay tuned. Once again, it's your girl Mara, the Socialite Diva. Have a great week, Chicago. And remember, always remain lit and subscribe.